Let's ride. Yeah, the style of Pixar gave me vibes from, The Last Door, I think it was. Thus, with this method, we can determine the time of death within a margin of error of 2 hours. You should ask, Cooper. Me? Why not you? Yes, Cooper? Cooper? It would be interesting if you'd share your doubts with the class. Look what you achieved. Bah, coward. Professor Moore. Is it true that you and Professor Ward are devoted to hunting ghosts? I have been badly informed. We are devoted to studying them, not to hunting them. What? That's nonsense. Ghosts don't exist. I don't know what part of the UK this accent's supposed to be, so yell at me all you want. I'm a filthy Yank. It's fine. Do you have any conclusive evidence? They're a myth. An invention of mankind to scare those with a weak mind. Days of weak mind, eh? Very well. I didn't realize it would have an auto proceed, so sorry, I missed a couple lines there. Let's see. How many of you believe in God? You can raise your hands. All of you? Well, perhaps you should be studying theology and not forensic medicine. You can lower your hands. Called the fuck out. I suppose you think the mere belief in him confirms his existence. Is there any supporting evidence? Any photographs? Have any of you seen him taking a stroll at Hyde Park? Has anyone talked to him? The Pope. Okay, let's set that witness aside for the moment. No one in history has been able to prove it. The only proof we have is faith, and that, regrettably, won't do. Look, gentlemen. Neither I nor Professor Ward assert that ghosts exist. We're cautious with regard to that matter, even if we have reliable witnesses and there are a large number of cases. Are those arguments enough to accept this as a fact? No. We would be falling into the same trap you fell into with respect to God. We investigate these claims with the best tool science has provided us. That is, the scientific method. A method I advise you to use before compulsively raising your hands to defend your beliefs. I don't think my father would agree with all this blasphemy. Your father agrees with the idea that students from the poorer classes should never be allowed into a university, as well as agreeing to use child labor in his factories. Alright, this guy rules. Not the father, the guy calling him out. So with your due respect, Mr. Tanner, you can take your father's opinion and... Alright, we like Professor Moore. I'm sorry to interrupt, Patrick. It's quite alright. What do you need? Look, the Dean wants to see you. Can it wait? The lecture is almost over. It's a delicate matter, Patrick. Is it about Rose? No, it has nothing to do with Rose. Oh, what a relief. I was starting to worry. Talk to him, would you? I'll take care of the lecture. What were you teaching? The scientific method. Apparently these gentlemen don't get it yet. Noted. Well, gentlemen, the scientific method. One moment. What? Okay. F1 for instructions. We like instructions. Door. Alright. Left bumper. Okay. Or not left bumper. Left mouse button. Got it. Upper edge of the screen. Okay. So that's where your inventory is. Oh wait, what was the second part of that? Okay, so you can use the eye to get descriptions on inventory. Got it. Alright. A selection of the many champion sports trophies the university has won. I can see the polo trophy won against Harvard in '84. I didn't realize the professor was going to be the main character. So if I play the full version, I'm probably going to go closer to my own, at least, tone of voice. But for now, keeping it nasal. Alright. Something about sport. Alright. Mr. Lee? Mr. Lee? Sorry, I didn't hear you. I was admiring the trophies. Did you know the university won the Greco-Roman Wrestling Championship in '89? I did not. We haven't won since. Such a pity. There are more trophies in the hall. There are more trophies in the hall. Why do I always find you in front of this cabinet? They're pretty, don't you think? Excuse me? The wrestling trophies. Ah, yes, I suppose they are. That's such a point of pride for the university, right? Yes, of course. Can I inquire about your obsession with the trophies? I want to win one. I mean, I want the university to win one in my discipline, Greco-Roman wrestling. What's preventing you from participating in a championship? I understand you're a good wrestler. I didn't realize this was one of the students, but my bad. Manager Taylor. He doesn't want to be embarrassed like in '96. What happened in '96? Oxford humiliated us. They defeated all our wrestlers. Manager Taylor doesn't want that to be repeated. And in his view, the most sensible thing to do is not to compete. Makes no sense, right? Especially if they have me. I'm the best wrestler the university has had in years. I might be able to convince the manager. I'd very much appreciate it. Tell him Oxford won't stand a chance against me. I'm big, and relentless, and strong. You look strong, yes. Of course I do. The strongest in the university. Do you want to see it? Test me. There's no need. I trust you. Bring me a metal rod. I'll bend it for you. I don't have one, but don't worry. I'll see what I can do to persuade Manager Taylor. Many thanks, Professor. Have a nice day, Mr. Lee. You too, Professor Moore. It was a gift from Raymond Baxter, former pupil and famous sculptor. It represents a certain deity celebrating the winter solstice. The board has threatened to retire this pagan figure several times, to the people's dismay. Every 21st of December, they fill the statue's bowl with whiskey and parade in front of it, paying their respects. That's cool. My colleague, Nelson Ward, former chief coroner of Scotland Yard, one of the most distinguished figures in the faculty. Sir Philip Abercrombie, illustrious professor of organic chemistry and a candidate for the Nobel Prize in 1903 for his work on brain connections. Sir John Thomas Ogilvy, the best surgeon in London Hospital, taught here between 1880 and 1890. When he retired, he donated huge quantities of medical material, which we still use today for internships. What are you doing with Professor Ward's portrait, Mr. Cook? Haven't you heard? Of course not. You've been shut up all day in the lecture room. Get inside, they'll bring you up to date. It's a scandal. A scandal? Oh, we got fired. Mr. Price? Professor Moore? Studying? Yes. Well, no. I'm reading a treatise on medieval churches, and let me see. My dear Gregory, I'm telling you the exact truth. I believe I am now acquainted with the extremity of terror and repulsion with which a man can endure without losing his mind. I'm sorry, Don't worry, Mr. Price. Don't be ashamed of reading M.R. James. He's a natural treasure. Continue with your reading. Thank you, Professor Moore. Okay, that's the lecture. That's where we came out of. Maybe we didn't wait for an answer. Professor Moore. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Dean Carter. Rector Williams, a pleasure. Good afternoon, Professor Moore. You can get a chair for the back, and that won't be necessary. This meeting will be brief. Explain the facts, Dean Carter. Look. This week, the university received a generous donation from the Metaphysics Investigation Program run by you and Professor Ward. £5,000. 5? That's amazing. It would be, if not for a terrible event. Or that money has disappeared from the Bank of England. What? We've demanded an explanation, and they've confirmed the money was withdrawn yesterday by your colleague. How was that? We wanted to speak with Professor Ward, but he didn't appear today for his lectures. Let's try to remain calm, gentlemen. The professor might simply be... We've been trying to locate him all day. He's vanished. He's run off with the money. It's an unprecedented scandal. Are you sure it was Professor Ward? Someone could have impersonated him. There are witnesses, and the signature with which the money was withdrawn is undoubtedly his. Lest we forget, his whereabouts are unknown. We believe in presumption of innocence and respect it, but in this case, I'm sorry, Professor Moore. This is the unvarnished truth. He might have done it under duress. You donated the money. We only know it was a group of intellectuals from London society. Nothing else. It appears they had no intention of making it public. In given circumstances, they prefer to keep it that way. Why would he do that? That is exactly what we're wondering. And how could he withdraw the money? He's just a teacher. He shouldn't be authorized. That's one time he combined his teaching job with the position of deputy treasurer. That was years ago. He resigned. Nevertheless, he was still registered at the Bank of London. We suspect he took advantage of that to commit this crime. You did the point, Dean Carter. Yes. I'm sorry to tell you that as a result of this matter, the board is considering eliminating your metaphysics investigations department. That can be. It is. My predecessor authorized this department because of the immaculate career of Professor Ward. So Archibald Ellsworth will roll over in his grave if he knew of this infamy. Surely you didn't presume to hope we'd keep this nonsense going after what happened, did you? I understand there's discomfort with Professor Ward, but I'm a part of the department too. It isn't fair that I should be blamed for acts for which I'm not responsible. We know, Patrick, but... That's Rick. You mean Professor Moore? And I would beseech you not to challenge the board. However, as a courtesy to you, we wish your exit from the department be as... Stop with this rubbish, Dean Carter. You have 72 hours to prove that your ghost exists. If you don't present us with material proof by that deadline, forget about your department. 72 hours? That's not time enough to prove that what no one has ever proven throughout the entire history of mankind. That is your problem. And especial thanks to Dean Carter. He's the one who proposed it. If it were up to me, I would brick up that circus right now with my own hands. Damn it. With the laughingstock of every university in the United Kingdom. Let them laugh all they want, Vice Chancellor Williams. They only display their ignorance. Do you want some advice? Forget about those ghost fantasies and focus on your work as a teacher. You are the best teacher of forensic medicine in all of London. Focus on your work, for God's sake. This is a serious institution. Superstition has no place here, and neither do your progressive ideas. Are you aware that we have received complaints from some student fathers because of your radical ideas? Oh shit, we got too woke. I kid. You know I kid. What's wrong with being a progressive? Isn't it part of the university motto? Knowledge, improvement, progress? Don't be a wise ass with me. Remember who you're talking to. You probably set this up 72 hours, Professor Moore. Prepare yourself to say goodbye to a fantasy that never had any place in an institution as respectable as this one. Go to hell. 72 hours. 72 hours, Henry. It's humiliating. Why didn't they just close the department immediately? I have more bad news to tell you. Really? There is more? Your department has been sealed. You won't be able to use any of the resources inside. Damn it, Heron. Couldn't you? I can't. If someone sees you there, they'll know it was me who conceded. That would put me in an awkward situation. The board is treating this matter very seriously. I don't want my position to be jeopardized. I beg you to understand. Yes, I do. Time for some breaking and entering. I didn't mean to put you in a predicament. I'm sorry. I know the search for the great beyond is your life, but I'm sure adversity will stretch your intellect even further. I don't know how, but try to find proof, please. And if it's strong enough, I'll show it to the board, and they'll be forced to keep the department open. How many of these have you written? The ones on the first shelf. And part of the second one, too. Ghosts, Reality or Myth by Dr. Henry Carter. Does Williams know you wrote this one? Oh, yes. He's even read it. Has he? Well, actually only the prologue. Then he gave a lecture with more words than there are in the book. I wonder if Professor Ward is still in London. That's the same thing I want to know. What kind of proof do you need to share with the board? The tangible kind, of course. Something so conclusive that it would convince the ignoramuses on the board to reconsider their beliefs. What a genius, huh? Who? Ah, Williams, yes. You know he's never agreed with the university being involved in supernatural matters, even if they're studied through science. What happened with Professor Ward was the perfect excuse to close down the department, don't you think? To him, it was like manna from heaven. It's what he's been waiting for since the beginning. I have no doubt about that. Williams is an old-school teacher, quite literally. His closed mind belongs to the last century. Forget about him and focus on searching for proof of supernatural activity. I will try to keep him at bay as best I can. Still don't believe what Professor Ward did. Indeed, I'm still processing it myself. But the evidence is unequivocal, Patrick. I don't think I could do it without the professor. Don't underestimate yourself, Patrick. You are an extraordinary researcher. I know time is not in our favor, but perhaps pressure will push your brain to unsuspected limits. I bet on you, my friend. Any ideas? I remember you said you were working on an electromagnetic field booster. Well, it is more complicated than that, in truth, but we could call it that. So to stimulate supernatural activity, right? In theory, yes. You could use it in this rushed investigation. Did you finish it? Does it work? I took it home so I could work on it during sleepless nights. It's only missing a piece, and then I could give it a try. So what are you waiting for? Alright. I'll see what I can find. Time is of the essence. Good luck, Patrick. Well, let's go find this missing piece. I won't be able to prove the Great Beyond exists in such a short time without the Professor's help. I need to find him. Maybe I can discover something that will help me find him at his home on Dorset Street. Alright. Can't go home yet, so Dorset Street it is. Oh boy, that's it, room number 4. So you're a friend of Professor Ward? Exactly. And he's vanished. Sadly. And why do you want to examine his room? Are you from Scotland Yard? No, I'm a professor, such as he. I only want to have a look to see if there's anything that might enlighten me to his whereabouts. Ah, that makes sense. When was the last time you saw him? I knew he went out last evening. I was in bed, but I heard his footsteps on the stairs. Haven't you seen him since then? No, sir. Did you notice anything strange about him? Of course I noticed. But not only yesterday, always. He's a strange man. Though a very polite one. I wish the rest of my tenants were as courteous as him. Why is this corridor so dark? The electric company convinced me to install this new light system in the house. They didn't tell me the price would be double compared to gaslight. That's what progress means, you know? Progress for the usual suspects. Those in power. I've told the tenants not to use this corridor light unless they want my bills to start affecting their rent. I like the messages they're putting down for all this. It's curious that he lived here. I mean, his salary was high enough to afford a better place than this. This hovel? Is that what you wanted to say? I don't mean to offend you, Miss Dawson. No, you'd be right. This is a hovel. Though it's the classiest hovel in all of the East End. And with the biggest rooms for 4 blocks. Would you do me the kindness of lending me the key to the room? I didn't have it. How was that? Professor Ward was a bit forgetful. He asked for my copy of the key in case he lost his. It would be the first time that happened. So he's got 2 keys. And to be none. That's it. How can I get into his room? You can wait for the locksmith to come tomorrow. I'm afraid I don't have that much time. Well, you can try to open the door yourself. I won't complain. But please, try not to break it. I'll be downstairs if you need me. Alright. Oh. Lamp is off. Okay. A3. I can't probably see the number on the plaque, but I'd say it's a 4. I can't read anything. There's barely any light. Okay, so we need some form of light. Closed. I'm guessing we need to flip the switch. Okay. One moment. There's something inside the lamp. Let me read everything first, then we'll check line. Rules of the house. Rent is paid the first day of each month. Okay. Daisies? Nothing inside the vent? Can't reach it? Okay, look at the picture, okay. We didn't bring anything with us. Mr. Cook? Yes. Did they order you to remove the portrait of Professor Ward? What do you think? I think yes. Exactly. Who ordered it? Who do you think? Vice Chancellor Williams? Exactly. Do you need help? Yeah, I see you're finding it hard to remove such a simple portrait. Think Gold Cook isn't smart enough to take it down a picture? Of course not. Exactly. Wait a moment, does that mean I am or I'm not? You are smart enough to take down a portrait. Ah, good. Some genius thought it would be better to attach the paintings with glue instead of a pair of hook screws. In his defense, I'd say that not for anything in this world would I have suspected one of these illustrious professors was a filthy thief. You've already been informed, have you? Sadly. Who would have thought, huh? It's not like it comes as a total surprise, frequently in the places he did. But I will manage to take this portrait down with no tool. One only needs to know how to apply force. Thus said Pythagoras, give me a place to stand, I shall move the world. That was Archimedes. You don't need to correct me. I'm not one of your pupils. Of course, I started a voice for this guy that's ripping my throat apart. What places did Professor Ward frequent? The powerful one, in the East End, the Red Lion. Someone of his stature visiting such establishments? How embarrassing. And in the company of a tart. One moment, what tart? Mortazard, I guess. They seemed quite close. She is surely his accomplice. How do you know that? Rumors travel as fast as bad news. I need to find that woman. She might know where I can find Professor Ward. If you find her, give it to the police. I already told you, she surely has something to do with the money theft. Okay. That'd be another location. Are you entirely certain you don't need any help with the portrait? Do you want me to help you marking exams? There's no need to. Exactly. Carry on. Okay, we can go back in the room. You need to be careful handling these anatomical skeletons because they're very fragile. Oh, we got a hand. That'll reach up to the lamp, probably. It's full of flasks and test tubes. What is a flask of sulfuric acid doing here? It should be in a lab. Yoink. So we could probably melt some shit if needed. I believe it's time to get rid of this old eraser. Can I dust for fingerprints with that? Queen Victoria's reign was so long, and her personage is still so present that no one dares to take down her portrait yet. Our King, Edward VII, crowned 6 years ago. Better late than never, he must have thought. The one on top is Atlas of Human Anatomy by Dr. Oswald de Vries. I use it to illustrate my lectures. The one on the bottom is The Empty House and Other Ghost Stories by Algernon Blackwood. And it serves to help me evade them. Those 4 drawers are full of anatomy prints. The rest are intended for school materials. Frank? Bad news, right? Worse. The board is threatening to close down the Metaphysics Investigations Department if I don't present irrefutable proof within 72 hours. Proof of what? Of the existence of the great beyond. Damn idiots. It's an impossible time frame. How dare they? That despicable Williams will end up getting what he wants. What do you think of what Professor Ward did? Are you asking me if I believe he's innocent? Is he? What do you think? I think neither of us is answering a single question. I don't know, Patrick. Nelson Ward is famous for being eccentric and impulsive. But that, of course, doesn't make him a miscreant. Have you seen any ghosts lately? God willing, this would be easy. This would be easy, right? How long has the Physical Investigations Department been running? 3, 4 years? 4. And they want to solve the great mystery of life after death within 72 hours? They neither want to nor intend to. If I have been given that time frame, it is because Henry deceded. If only you could succeed. I'd like to see the faces of those decrepit geezers when you show them undeniable proof. I don't think I knew Professor Ward well enough. We had a very close relationship, but it was purely professional. I don't know a single thing about his life, apart from him being the chief coroner of Scotland Yard before becoming a teacher. If I had taken even a mild interest in him, I might have detected signs of what he would do. Don't punish yourself with that, Patrick. Nelson was very reserved. I doubt anyone in the faculty really got to know him. Alright. I don't know how I can face his research against the clock. I don't want to be untactful, but that's an endeavor doomed to fail. I mean, to this day, no one has been able to find any conclusive evidence of the existence of the great beyond. Perhaps in the future we could resolve the matter, but not in such a short time. I need to find the professor. I can't do this alone. We were a team. How about asking for help from the British Society of Paranormal Studies? I doubt they would assist. Neither the professor nor I are welcome there. Ah, because of that damned article. What about Richer? He always supported you. I think he'd be a valuable ally in this quest. Charles? He's not in London at the moment. No? Damn. Any ideas that might help my research? Now that I think about it. Nelson mentioned having found a place worth investigating. Do you remember where it could be? I think it was located in central London. A house, maybe? I didn't recall. I was having a busy day when he told me about it, and I didn't pay enough attention. I'm sorry I'm not helping. Not to worry. Thank you for always supporting me. I know of only 2 people who could prove the existence of the great beyond. One of them is Nelson. You are the other. So you shall always have my support in everything you do. I should get going, if I can do anything for you. I understand, Frank, and I appreciate it. Alright, anything else? I don't think so. Alright. Might as well, you know, keep a save on hand just in case. Notice if we'll carry over to the full version. Alright, we can't go to the pub or our house yet, so... I could use the skeleton knob to carefully remove the crystal from the lamp. Damn, it's not long enough. Maybe a little jump will help. Oh, lamp's broken. What was that? What was that noise? Noise? What noise? A bang. As if a mirror had fallen. To be honest, I don't know if I had anything like that. No? May have been in the adjoining house, don't you think? Yes, probably. Well, better that way. There's a key here. I'll pick up the broken crystal. I don't want to explain it to the landlady. Where can I hide the criminal evidence? Vent. Ah! Or the plant. Nothing to see here. I wonder if I'll have to come back for that later. Alright, so we have a key. Presumably to room 4. Okay. That's quite the presumption, but okay. The professor is an atheist, so I gather the crucifix was already here when he arrived. It's a map of central London where the professor has marked several places worth investigating. There's a red circle around one of them. There's an old oil lamp. I'll take it. Anything else? Chest is done. Alright. I think the professor would rest better under the watchful eye of Darwin than under Jesus. Doesn't look very comfortable. No, the professor wouldn't care. I've seen him fall asleep in between classes in the most unimaginable places. Bird. Shoe. The street is full of tramps and drunkards. The professor felt more comfortable among them than among his colleagues. Man of the people. There's a notebook on the desk. The House of Benwell Street. It is discouraging to discover that all of the places worth investigating were in the end are the frauds or a waste of time. However, I found a location that, if my inquiries are correct, could afford a unique opportunity to me and my colleague, Professor Moore. It is an old, impressive building located at 34 Benwell Street. Its original owner was Thomas Highmore, a widower philanthropist, not widower, who lived in the house during the early years of the last century. After his death, his heirs rented the house to several tenants. One of them, Frederick Price, reported strange blows coming from the basement to the police. Raps? An officer corroborated the facts, to which he added, as is stated in his report, that several objects in the room started to slowly move without human intervention. A police report that confirms the unexplained supernatural phenomena. Contrary to the account of a normal witness, which is always an act of faith to consider believable, this changes everything. I don't know, would not necessarily... Well, he worked for the cops at one point, so maybe he believes them more than any one in their right mind. No police officer of sound mind would cast doubt in his professionalism by falsely signing a report such as this about that. So we can be sure this is an account that we can accept, and thus a very valuable one. Terrified, the Prices left the house 2 months later. Their place was taken by a Benjamin Jones. By searching through the documents of the estate agency that managed the property, I found a report stating that the tenant abandoned the house 4 weeks later due to constant unspecified occurrences in the basement. In my investigation, I found 2 other cases with that basement as the epicenter of supernatural activity, but I have yet to verify them. I still have informed Patrick about this. We could be dealing with another dead end, and if someone has to waste his time with this, I'd rather it be me. My instinct, though, tells me 34 Benwell Street is the place we've been dreaming of all these years. Professor Nelson Ward, October 14th, 1907. 34 Benwell Street. The junk box stands out. Let's see what's in it. This copper wire reel that may come in handy. Oh yeah, that might be the piece we need for the electromagnetic box. Well, it's too rusty. Copper doesn't rust? I think it's a patina though, so... Oh, we're in screenshot mode, so... Spooky ghost! Spooky stage play! Spooky wedding? Question mark? Spooky photography? Oh, please tell me we get to look at orbs. Spooky docks. Spooky henge. Not so spooky mansion. Eat the rich. That was a pretty good tease. Mostly a mechanical example. I was hoping we'd get like a light spook. You know, get to encounter one ghost and then cut it, but that was still pretty good.